morning and welcome to our bi-monthly show where you can send in questions and ask myself, the mayor, any questions that you might have. I would encourage you to do that. I think there are a lot of things going on in Enid that the general public would like to know about, and I will do my best to answer those questions. Before I start this morning, though, I want to, first of all, thank everyone that went out to First Friday this past Friday. It was a great event. We had our fire department out there, the Enid Fire Department. They are preparing to go to some competitions, and they did some displays which were amazing. If you got a chance to go out there and see that, I think you probably liked it. But whether you saw it or not, when you see a fireman out and about, thank them. Those men and women work very hard. They stand ready to help us at any given time. So just give them a pat on the back and a thank you. So our questions this morning, I've got two questions I would like to address. The first one, and keep in mind, I'll never mention your name on this program, so you can send in whatever you want, and I'll read the question and then do my very best to answer it. So our first question involved the Oakwood Mall. We had a question that wanted to know why we didn't use eminent domain, go in and take that property and then refurbish it into an indoor water park like they have down in Chickasha, which I have driven by that facility down in Chickasha, and it is pretty amazing, I have to admit. But there's several reasons why we would not entertain that. First of all, eminent domain is a process, it's a legal term that allows governments, whether it's a municipality, a state government, or a federal government, to go in and take a piece of property for the betterment of the whole. And while I could do that if we needed a road or if we needed to expand a school, I can see that. I would never be in favor of taking public or private property to use for a business to have gain. So I would be opposed to that. I think most of our public would be opposed to that. That's one reason I would be against trying to take that mall. Number two, it is privately owned, and I know that there has been several developers in and around the area that have called and tried to purchase that property. The owner is not willing right now to sell that property. So until he is, he will continue to own that. He keeps it up. He pays the taxes on it. And then the third reason why I would be opposed to that, while the city may try to do an incentive to bring business to town that would benefit all of us, we do not want to be in the business of running a business. That is not what we do well. And for us to own and operate a water park, we would just prefer not to do that. So that's my thought on the mall. I do wish that it could be purchased. I wish that something could be done with it. I've even heard, I do know that large companies that bring in businesses and build stores, they want what they call pad-ready sites where they're ready to start work as soon as they get permitting done. And that would be nice if we had a developer that could purchase that, take it down, and get all the utilities run to it correctly so that when someone called, needed a site, we would be pad ready to do that. But that's not the case right now. The second question we have is, I was walking down the street last week and a lady stopped me and asked me just about the water project. It's kind of where we were at, and I think it's easy to forget sometimes as the mayor or one of the commissioners, because we deal with it all the time, that sometimes the general public doesn't really understand exactly where we're at on that process. That was all rolled up about about $342 million. We are progressing well on that. It is in different stages. We bid that out in 6 different projects, and each one of those projects are progressing well. We are just about to let the last bid, which is the Chestnut water line, the main water line down Chestnut, that will, we're going to let that bid most likely this week, so that'll get started. And that being said, the other phases of that project some of them are over halfway done. I know we're scheduled to finish the project July of 24. We've had a couple hiccups on it, but on any large project, you're expected to have that. We planned for it. We've allowed for it. We've had a couple setbacks on easements, but those have all been worked out now. So it's progressing well. And I will also go back all the way back to, I know every once in a while I encounter people that say, I still don't understand why we needed this. Just a few numbers I always remind people of, that currently we have the capability of producing about 21 million gallons a day of potable drinking water. But during the summer, we use about 18.5 million gallons. So we were running razor thin. And it limited any other business that we could bring in that had a large water use. This new water line will bring in between 10 and 11 million gallons of drinkable, potable water every single day. That's going to allow us to continue to sell it to the other communities around the area that depend on us, and to support any additional businesses that come in, like manufacturing type businesses that have a lot of water usage. So that being said, the water line's coming along well. Every time we have a hurdle, we find a solution for it, and we continue to move forward. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited about next July, so that we can cut a ribbon on that and open the valve and start having water come in from Kaw Lake. So I would encourage you to send in more questions. I will do my best to answer those. You can send in those questions to askmason@enid.org. askmason@enid.org. So thank you so much, and just go out and enjoy Enid. We've got so many good things going on in Enid right now. Don't miss out on that. So I'll talk to you again in 2 weeks. Thank you.